There's something, alright. This was the first time I'd ever woke with such clarity. Wow, already starting off with stuttering again. It was 5:59, just moments before my alarm would go off. I was amazed at the precision of my internal clock. I had made precautions for the next day of school before I went to bed. I changed quickly and descended to the deserted lower floor. It appeared that my mom was still asleep. Neither breakfast nor lunch was ready. Yesterday I was just wow. Okay, nope. I'm not even gonna try it. I declared that I would be leaving early today, so it couldn't be helped. I slathered jam on some bread and topped it with some instant cocoa. Just as I was finishing up breakfast, Mom rose groggily from her slumber.
あら、ケイチ、今日は早いのね。
My Keiichi, you're up early.
学校の行事か何か？
Is there some sort of school event?
別に。
Not really. Wow. Answering bluntly, I picked up my bag and stood after stuffing 2 slices of bread down my throat.
もう行くの？
You're leaving already?
お弁当は？
What about lunch?
もうちょっと待ってくれないとできないわよ。
If you don't wait a bit, I can't make it. If I waited for her to make my lunch, then it would end up being the same time as usual. If I did that, it would raise the chances of me running into Rena and Mion on the way. Yeah, we don't want to run into them at this point. It's better if we just, I don't know. Yes, from today onwards, I'll be going to school alone.
今日はいいよ。
I'll be fine for today.
じゃあお昼はどうするの？
And what will you do for lunch?
抜け出して商店で菓子パンでも買うよ。
I'll slip out and buy some bread or something at the store.
そう。じゃあこれ、お昼代ね。
Really? Then here's some lunch money.
ちゃんとレシート持ってくるのよ。
Be sure to bring me back the receipt. I took the 1,000 yen bill from Mom and slipped it into my pocket.
こんなに早いけど、レナちゃんたちもこんなに早いの？
It's pretty early. Is Rena-chan up this early as well?
いや、俺だけ。
No, just me. Wow, he is, like... His way of speaking completely changed. Like, no, just me. It's like completely blunt and like... It's just...
レナちゃんには早く出るって伝えてあるの？
You tell Rena-chan that you're leaving early? No. Oh, okay. I have no reason to tell her every little detail now, do I? Wow. Finding it difficult answering the onslaught of questions, I made an annoyed face.
レナが来たら、ケイイチは先に行ったって伝えてよ。
Tell Rena that I went ahead when she comes.
ちょっとケイチ、待ちなさい。
Hey, Keiichi, wait! It's not that I didn't trust my parents. I just couldn't rely on them. They couldn't help me. I could only hope that they didn't get involved. It was safer that way. My mom's annoying voice was cut off by the slam of the door. Wow. Has he just become ruder and meaner and just like more blunt and like, wow. Yeah. It's like he's changed. No more happiness for him. Like he is just... For the first time since I moved here, I headed down the road to school alone. It's a bit harsh much, I guess, but I mean, yeah, I guess it's just who he's gonna be today. Maybe it's, I don't know. Up until now, I had always walked down the same path at the same time each day. Is it worse than I'm walking by myself without them? So I always met with the same people at the same places. But today was different. I didn't meet the people I would normally, and nobody was at the places where I would have normally met them. Of course, Rena wasn't in the spot where we usually met, and there wasn't anyone at the spot where we would have met it with Mion. The length of the tree shadows, the morning air, and the brightness of the sun. It was a completely different type of morning from what I was used to. Without a doubt, it felt strange. It left me with the impression that I had destroyed the illusion Hinamizawa had set up for me before I had enough time to prepare all of the props needed to deceive me.
あら、ケイチくん。
My Keiichi-kun.
今朝は早いわね。みんなで早朝から待ち合わせ？
You're so early today. Is everyone meeting early this morning? The person who called out to me was someone we always passed by as they were taking a walk along the edge of the fields. Their name was, I forgot. Oh yeah, I forgot. Like, of course, this wasn't the spot where we usually pass each other.
今朝は早くに目が覚めちゃったので、気分転換なんです。
I woke up early today, so I thought it would be a good change of pace.
あまり気にしないでください。
That's all. I threw out a random excuse.
レナちゃんやミオンちゃんはどうしたんだい？
What about Rena-chan and Mion-chan?
今日は一人なの？
Are you by yourself today? I mean, you don't see them near me now, do you?
ええ、まあ。
Well, yeah. I was being asked the same type of questions my mom was asking. So I answered them in the same uninteresting, vague manner. Oh, this is a new area. This is new. I don't remember this area. It wasn't funny being asked where Rena was each time I passed by someone. But maybe it was to be expected. I mean, you are with her literally every time they see you. It was because for so long we were always together so amicably. Even I felt that if I let my guard down, we could still be friends. Stop it, Keiichi. Don't think about that anymore. You spent all day thinking about how dangerous it was to go soft, didn't you? Beep! A car horn blared out from out of nowhere. Even though I was walking, lost in thought, that horn was way too close. A mechanical behemoth barreled at me from behind, catching me completely off guard. Whoa! By the time I turned around, the van's hulking chassis was almost on top of me. I'd seen plenty of cars veer to the opposite shoulder to avoid pedestrians, but this car was doing the opposite. Are you saying they were trying to hit you? It felt like there was somebody on the opposite shoulder, and the van was swerving in my direction to avoid them. That blissfully ignorant train of thought delayed me from realizing something much, much more important. That large mass was hurling right at me. Was it going to hit me? The inside of my head instantly flooded with a painfully cold liquid. What? In that moment, the scene before me, no time itself had frozen. Huh? In the silence of that frozen moment, I compared the van so close that I had no way to dodge it, and my body, upper half twisted awkwardly in order to look behind me. There was no way I could dive out of the way in my current position. If I lost focus now, this moment would unpause, and I'd probably be plowed over, caught in this silly pose. Did he just what the hell? Is he just stopping time? Bend my upper body over towards the patty by the side of the road. If I bent far enough, I'd get away with just being hit by the side view mirror. As soon as the thought crossed my mind, the temporal stasis was shattered by the deafening sound of the van. The side mirror struck my shoulder, sending me spinning off through the air like a top, locked in my contorted position. Kasplash! Sent tumbling through the air, I crashed into the muddy patty by the side of the road. My entire body was solid and drenched, but the choice I made in that instant was unmistakably for the best. I was covered in mud, but when the alternative was being hit by the car, it was the closest I could be to being unscathed. Wow! Rising out from the patty, I had enough in me to glare over at the stopped van and yell profanities at the driver. I'm not sure if he was able to see me, but the van sped off suddenly. Wait, damn it! This was what they call a hit and run, wasn't it? I couldn't help but continue yelling out profanities. The disgrace from being covered in mud hurt me more than any physical wound. I slogged through the muddy patty and made my way back onto the road. This is a crime, goddammit! Shit! I'll track you down and sue you! If I go looking for a van, I'm sure to find it in this little village. The path I was on had rice paddies on either side, and it had become so narrow that one car could barely fit through. It wasn't a place you could tear full speed down in a car, let alone pass by pedestrians. Not only was it a narrow road, but the car just now was closer to my side of the road than the other when it would pass me. Even as I cursed, I was desperately trying to suppress the dark cloud roiling up within me. Oh, whoops. This wasn't just a hit and run. That car just now was trying to run me over, wasn't it? I mean, you weren't paying attention, to be fair. I mean, it was definitely a hit and run, but I mean, you weren't paying attention. Thinking back, I did feel like there had been a car creeping up on me slowly for a while, and you didn't bother thinking that till now? I didn't hear that in your monologue. That's right, as soon as I'd parted ways with the person taking the walk, I had that feeling the whole time. If it had wanted to pass me, then it had no shortage of chances. Normally, I would have felt suspicious and turned around sooner. But I was lost in thought and now was kicking myself for not realizing it was there sooner. And then, when the path became narrow and there was no one else in sight, he floored it. If I had hesitated for even a moment, the result would have been no laughing matter. As the adrenaline rush from nearly being run over subsided, and the realization of just how terrifying the preceding events were sunk in, there was no doubt about it. That van was intentionally trying to hit me. A cold, vicious sweat seeped from my scalp, and slid down my back before dripping off. I struggled to avoid falling into a panic. There was still the possibility that this was really just an accident. Calm down, Keiichi. But also don't be so naive, Keiichi. Okay. Being that lax will get you killed next time. You need to always be on your toes. Yeah, why are you in monologue time? Don't give them any openings. You're giving them openings right now, man. My enemies really out to kill me. The next time they would use a more reliable method. I mean, you almost did get hit by a car. If that time came and I was acting like I was now, getting covered in mud was the price I had paid for my own naivety. Covered in mud but without injury. Not even a sprain. I guess this is what you would call the silver lining. I began walking again, this time cautiously. I wouldn't even show a hint of carelessness. I had suspected only Rena and the others up until now. No, it was because I had suspected them that I had believed there were no other enemies. Ooishi-san had said so, didn't he? Yeah, that this was a group conspiracy? There was a possibility of a village conspiracy. Oh, a village conspiracy. Was I really... Wow. Read so deeply in this situation that I had no choice but to try and carry on as usual? Wouldn't it be safest to just hold myself up in my house? But the moment I abandoned my regular routine, everyone around me would abandon theirs as well. That was just too horrifying of a thought. I recall the tales Ooishi-san told me of when Hinamizawa was still called Onikakushi. A frightening tale of an entire village of demons hunting their prey, surrounding them and eating them alive. Wow, okay. One must not interfere with the demons. One must pretend not to see it. The enemy was numerous, the whole village. The villagers with their unwavering faith in the curse would do nothing to help me. Oh yeah, that's probably true. The strong, sudden flash of sunshine made me slightly dizzy. I had no idea what was going on anymore. When I suspected it was the work of a man, I would catch a glimpse of Ooishi-sama's curse. And when I suspected it was Ooishi-sama's curse, someone would poke their head out. What was coincidence? What was intentional? Who was my enemy? Who was just a bystander? No, what I really truly want to know was, how did I end up with the proverbial bullseye painted on my back? Eventually an answer in a form I could understand will appear. I don't care when that will happen. Because until then, I cannot die. That alone fueled my resolve to fight and keep me alive. Wow, what a way to start. We're at school finally. I remember seeing the metal bat in the gym storage shed, but there was a padlock on the door barring my entry. At the very least, I wanted to get my hands on it before everyone else arrived at school. I circled around the school gate impatiently. But all I could find were things like pieces of lumber, nothing that I could bring into the classroom easily. Then I had an epiphany. I should search inside the classroom. If it was something in the classroom to begin with, then there wouldn't be a problem. I could tell that everyone's indoor shoes were still in their lockers. Good thing I came early. No one else was here yet. I wondered, what could I find in the classroom? I didn't think I could find an especially effective weapon like a bat. Yeah, I don't think it's just going to be conveniently there. But it couldn't be helped at this point. Until the gym storage shed was open, I needed to find a substitute. A lingering hint of naivety whispered that there was no way I'd be attacked at school. But such soft ideas would no longer protect me. To think that they were slowly making their way into parts of my life that I had once thought impenetrable. In the worst case, my own home might not be safe anymore. That was an incredibly frightening thought. But I believe that not considering the worst case scenario would have been even more frightening. Yeah? Anyways, I will survive. So long as I live, then I will definitely be able to escape this labyrinth of nonsense. Definitely. My exploration of the classroom came to an impasse. That much was to be expected. There was no way there would be anything that could be a weapon in the classroom. In case of emergency, there was probably nothing I could do but swing my own chair around. My gaze landed on the lockers that had come to be used for personal storage. The locker that Mion used to store her pile of games was among them. Alright, see ya. Thanks for coming out. There was one for each person in the classroom, all lined up. Of course, there was one for me as well. What? What? Oh yeah, there was supposed to still be a tracksuit in my locker. Seeing me covered in mud would be strange. I should go later. I should go change later. Wow! But first I needed a weapon. If one of my classmates came, it would be hard to rummage through all the lockers. I swiftly began opening the lockers one by one. They were mostly just filled with things like gym clothes, personal items, and umbrellas. An umbrella. If I couldn't find anything better, then this would have to be my weapon. Wow, what a great weapon. I'm about to give up on finding anything decent when I opened a locker that held exactly what I wanted. Wow, convenient. It was, without a doubt, a metal bat. It was well worn and pretty beaten up, but there was no doubt that it was usable. In that locker that reeked of mold, there also hung a baseball uniform. It's probably the locker of a student in a Pee-wee league or something like that. A Pee-wee league is hilarious. If that was the case, then he'd probably ask for it back. At that time, I could hear the voices of the children scuffling their way noisily in from the hallway. Amongst them, I can make out Rika-chan and Sadako. Oh.
おはようございますです。
Good morning.
あらあらあら、今朝はお早いですわね、ケイチさん。
My, you're quite early this morning, Keiichi-san. I nonchalantly hid the bat I was holding behind my back. Yep, yeah, you guys can't see this.
なんなんですの、その身なりは。
What is with your outfit?
泥だらけでしたよ。
You're covered in mud.
まあ、ちょっとあってな。
Yeah, I had a little incident.
すぐ着替えるから勘弁しろ。
I'm going to change now, so cut me some slack. With that said, I began taking off my clothes. Sadako began to blush just as I expected her to.
レディーの前でお着替えなんてしつけがなってませんことよ。
Changing in front of a lady, have you no tact at all?
着替えをじーっと見てるレディも、しつけがなってないと思うぞ。
I would think that a lady staring at someone who was changing would be the one lacking in tact.
男子は更衣室がないんだから諦めろ。
There's no changing room for the boys, so just deal with it. As Sadako feigned disgust, she went into the hall, still blushing. Conversely, Rika-chan continued to stare at me, preparing to change. Can you
リカ
not?
ちゃんもレディーなら、着替えを見てるのは良くないと思うぞ。
If Rika-chan is a lady as well, then I don't think it would be appropriate for you to be watching. Yeah,
僕はレディーじゃないですからいいのです。
I'm not a lady, so it's fine. Stop trying to look at... No. She deliberately pouted and looked at me with unturned eyes. No.
じゃあ、リカちゃんも、今からレディーだ。
Then, starting now, you're a lady.
レディーなら仕方ありませんです。
If I'm a lady, then I suppose I must. Rika-chan, appearing to be satisfied with being considered a lady, made her way to join Sadako in the hallway. Just as I breathed a sigh of relief, Rika-chan stopped suddenly and turned back towards me.
ケイチは野球を始めますですか？
Oh, Keiichi, you didn't hide it good enough, man! Are you gonna start playing baseball? Seems that Rika-chan had noticed the bat. Yeah, wow. What a way of not letting them see it.
ああ、ちょっとさ。
Yeah, just, you know.
体がなまってさ。
feeling a bit out of shape.
ちょっと素振りでも始めようかなってな。
So I thought I'd just try practicing my swing.
健康に気を使うのはとても良いことだと思いますです。
I think it's wonderful you're taking care of your health. She was talking like an old lady despite her appearance. After saying that, Riga-chan started to leave again, but stopped and looked back at me once more.
そのバット、なくさないでくださいね、です。
What does that mean? Please don't lose that bat. Are you warning me? It seems she already knew I took it out of someone's locker. There was no name on the locker door. I didn't know whose bat it was, but I'd be borrowing it until they complained. It wouldn't be for long, just until the gym storage shed was open. Oh, I actually just realized we're finally getting happy music for a little bit. Last part, we did not get a bit of happy music. After quickly changing into the tracksuit, I checked the time. I still had plenty of time before class began because I came so early. I took the bat in one hand and went out to the schoolyard. That was, of course, to practice my swing. I needed to make it known I would always have a bat on me so I could practice my swing. At some point, the sunlight had become even stronger. Disregarding my classmates as they made their way to school, I took my position in the shadow of the school building. I wasn't the academic type, and I wasn't much of an athlete either. I might get physical pain if I just suddenly started swinging. I should at least start out with some warm-ups. I doubt anyone would think I was doing something out of the ordinary. Which was the exact opposite of my actual mental state. I gripped the bat and swung lightly. The bat was by no means light. The weight would make it a reliable weapon when I needed it to be. Wow, English. Of course, I could only pray that the moment I needed to use this as a weapon would never come. Just carrying it around could deter attacks against me. At least that's what I hoped. It better work out. Oh, hey, it's you two. Huh?
ケイちゃん
Kei-chan.
まだ何やってんの
What are you doing? Can't you see? Being bombarded with such a hysterical voice, I jumped.
ああ、ケイチくん、野球部だよ。野球部だよ。
Whoa, Keiichi-kun, are you on the baseball team? The baseball team? It was Rena and Mion.
先に行ったって言われて驚いたけど、ケイちゃん、あんた何やってるわけ？
I was surprised to hear you went off ahead. What are you doing, Kei-chan?
見てわからないかよ。
Can't you tell by looking?
素振りだよ。甲子園だよ。
I'm practicing my swing for the championship. Okay.
別にダイエットでもいいぞ。
You can say it's part of my diet if you want.
ダイエットってケイちゃん、そんなに太ってたっけ？
Diet? Kei-chan, are you really that fat? I mean, I don't know. Am
あ
I?
あ、知らなかったろ。実は三段腹なんだ。
Bet you didn't know. I actually have a beer belly. Okay, man.
もちもちでタプタプなんだぞ。
It's plump and jiggles. Okay, why are we... Man.
もちもちでタプタプ。
Oh, of course.
レナ、変な想像しなくていいぞ。
Rena, you don't have to imagine something weird like that. To disrupt Rena from imagining something that vulgar, I ruffled her hair messily.
じゃあまあ、頑張って県大会を目指してちょうだいよ。
Well then, hope you make it to regionals at least.
おじさん応援してるわ。
This old man will cheer you on.
野球部の強い高校、教えようか？
Regionally speaking, it seems that Oshima High is pretty strong.
そこにいる左腕の亀田くんが、すごいピッチャーなんだけどさ。
They say their southpaw, Kameda-kun, is amazing.
頑張ってね。
Good luck. Seems that they've already taken me for a baseball nut, but oh well. Hey, actually playing baseball maybe wouldn't be so bad. Well, if I really did make it to the championship, it would be a cinch. I probably said that wrong. After all, I'd be the pitcher and the catcher. I'd pitch the ball, then run past the ball I just threw, and change over to being the catcher in a burst of super incredible explosive speed. I wonder what kind of image he has of this in his head. I laughed dryly at the ludicrous image. Coming back to my senses, I smashed the bat against the ground.
くそ！
Damn it!
何笑ってんだよ、俺！
What am I laughing at? I pounded the ground over and over. With each impact, the reverberation traveling through the bat stung my hands. Yeah, ow, don't swing it at the ground, man, that hurts. I've done that like one time. If they smile at me like that, ugh. Don't allow anyone close to me. Don't trust anyone. No matter how many times I tell myself that. They made me smile like that, I mean, don't do the don't trust anyone little shtick. That's not gonna work. I already knew quite well that there were demons dwelling in my smiling friends. All of them, though? But I just couldn't believe it. Does that kind of split personality really exist? Like how Rena confessed to the doctor. Were they simply being possessed by Ooishi-sama? I mean, maybe. But I don't believe it. In other words, did a supernatural being like Ooishi-sama really exist? And was it possible possessing everyone to try and kill me? I mean, if the curse is real, yeah, that would be wonderful. If only everyone were actually my friends all along and everything was just Ooishi-sama's fault.
前原圭一のバカ野郎だから
You damn fool, Keiichi Maibara, come on now! I yelled out, drawing out all the power from the pit of my stomach, and raised the bat violently into the air.
甘えるんじゃね
Stop being so soft! As I screamed out with all my might, I beat the metal bat into the ground over and over. With every impact, my weakness was being beaten down. Smash. Forget. Smash. Don't be soft. Smash. Know your enemy. Smash. Like hell I'd let them kill me. My shoulders heaving up and down from my ragged breathing. I heard the first bell ring just as I calmed down. You gotta calm down, man. He's hysterical, I get it, like... It's just like, man. I gasped with a sudden realization. That was the final bell. As I felt all the tension drained from me, I let out a deep breath. My mind was in a muddled state for much of the entire day. I didn't feel like I was awake, but I didn't feel like I was asleep either. I couldn't say it felt especially comfortable, but I felt a kind of relief that the sanctity of the school part of my daily life had yet to be violated. How long would I have to keep on living like this? I can only grit my teeth and bear with it as this living hell slowly gnawed away at me. Keiichi-kun!
やろうやろ
Come on!
部活の時間なんだよ。だよ
It's club time! Club time! The sound of Rena's voice brought me back to my senses.
ほらほら、ケイちゃん、ぼーっとしない。
Come on, Kei-chan. Stop spacing out!
机を寄せて寄せて。
Bring your desk! Everyone was moving their desks together as usual. That's right. It was happy, fun club time! But I had no intention of taking part. I haphazardly stuffed the contents of my desk into my bag as I prepared to go home. It was a weak-handed gesture to avoid actually having to say, I'll be going home now.
なんだよ、ケイちゃん。
What's this, Kei-chan?
今日も直帰なわけ？
You planning on going home right away again? Oh, you're mad, aren't you? Mio was sounding quite disappointed.
気分が乗らないんだ。しばらくほっといてくんないかな。
I'm just not in the mood. Can you guys let me be for a while? The tone of the words that spilled from my mouth matched Mio's disapproving glare. It felt like the air in the room had dried out. Sadako looked like she was about to say something, but perhaps dissuaded by the mood, she swallowed her words and stayed silent. Nobody said a thing. I took that to mean that I could leave if I wanted. But the collective gaze of the four of them, like the tiny pins used to mount an insect in a display, held me in place. Rena was the one who cut through the heavy mood.
ケイチ君、やっぱり女の子と一緒に遊ぶのなんか嫌だったかな。
Are you really trying to guilt trip him after all this? Hold on, chat, one sec. backstream. Keiichi-kun, you just didn't like playing with girls, I guess. Are you really guilt-tripping me after all that? She said it's just a melancholic... I know I'm saying it wrong. I know how to say it, but for some reason it's not coming to me today. Telling that it sent a wave of pain racing through my heart. If this pain was going to kill me, I wanted it to be the soft part of me that could still feel pain. I tore up my chest, violently tearing out the pins that held me in place.
そういうわけじゃねえよ。
That's not it at all. I'd only be hurting myself by saying anything more, so I swallowed my words. Okay, wow. Cutting things off there, I turned away and exited the classroom. They didn't speak a word to me as I left. It was a long, dull trip back home, but I didn't lose focus. I firmly squeezed the grip of the bat, which was already soggy from sweat. Realizing that, I wiped it down with my sleeve. If something were to happen, I wouldn't want it to be slippery. Since this morning, I'd become especially sensitive to the presence of cars. Even while walking, my ears pricked up and sought out the threatening sounds and presences that could be closing in. And that was why I could hear it. Without a doubt, there were footsteps. Those footsteps had matched up perfectly with mine for a while now. You following me? Who? From what I could sense, it was just one person. But I had no intention of being careless. Did they intend to follow me like that car this morning until we were in a good location to assault me? Then it wasn't a good idea to keep walking like this. I stopped walking and looked back. The wooded path crowded with trees responded with silence as if there was nobody there to begin with. But I wouldn't be fooled. I was certain footsteps were following me. And just as I stopped the footsteps stopped as well. Meaning the person following me wanted to keep their distance. That was, without a doubt, proof that I was their target. I held my breath, waiting for that presence to panic and start moving again. The trees rustled with the sound of the wind. The Higurashi also joined in the dissonant chorus, trying to throw my focus into disarray. Had 5 minutes passed? Or had I been like this for a whole 30 minutes? It was so hard to breathe that I might have suffocated. It seemed I would be the first one to panic. Without a doubt, he was lurking in the shade of that tree with bated breath. He? Then I'd make the first move. I fixed my grip on the bat. Oh, what are you about to do, man? I raised it up to my shoulders to be ready to swing it at any time.
おい
Hey!
いるんだろそこに
I know you're there. With all of my might, I screamed at whoever was hiding in the shade of the trees. But the presence in the shade didn't budge. Till the moment I found them, they had no intention of revealing themselves.
分かってんだよ
I know already.
そこにいるのはよ
I know you're there. I screamed out angrily at them again, but even still, they didn't move at all. Then I'll go over there myself. With all due vigilance, I approached step by step. Stepping into the tree shadow, I saw a human figure there. Oh, that figure was curled up like a small animal. Oh, Rena.
レナ
Why are you? What the? What? When she realized I had found her, her expression softened. She seemed apologetic, but wasn't going to speak a word. What is this? She's not saying a word and following me?
なんか俺に言おうかよ
She have some business with me? I wouldn't accept that silence and scream the question at her.
別に、
No, really. It's just, Rena was in a panic with tears welling up in her eyes. But it was obvious that she had been following me.
部活はどうしたんだよ
What about the club? Yeah, why are you here not with the rest of the club? What are you gonna do? What?
ケイチくんがお休みしたから、レナもお休み。
Since you're not, I'm not. Oh, wow.
関係ないだろ
That shouldn't matter.
俺なんか気にしないで遊んでろよ
Don't mind me and just play.
だって、ケイチくんのこと心配で。
But I'm just worried about you. Thinking about how I've been acting until now, it wasn't hard to imagine that my behavior could have been perceived as strange. So Rena was concerned. At a quick glance, that's how it would seem. But I wasn't going to let my guard down that easily. Even if that was really the case, she still wouldn't have had to do something like try to tail me. She should have called out to me when I was leaving and gone out right with me. Yeah, that's what I thought would happen, but no. But Rena didn't do that. She kept her distance from me and matched my walking speed. She kept... Oh, whoops. On top of that, she matched the sound of her footsteps and deviously tried to hide her presence from me. That's what I don't get. Then, after she realized I noticed she was there, she held her breath as she tried hiding from me. Why? She wore a timid expression that would force one to take pity on her. But without a doubt, she was tailing me.
もうついてくんなよ。
Stop following me. Still glaring at Rena, I continued walking onwards. After I'd walked for a bit, she ignored my command and began walking again, so I yelled at her once more.
ついてくるなって言ってるだろ
Told you to not follow me!
だって、レナの家も同じ方向だし。
But my house is in the same direction.
じゃあレナが先を歩けよ。レナが見えなくなったら俺も歩く。
Then walk ahead of me. I'll start walking once I can't see you anymore. I moved out of the way and waved my bat violently to urge her forward. Wow!
レナは、ケイイチ君と一緒に帰りたいな。
I'd like to go home together with you. No, man. I just can't trust you anymore, bro. Why are you... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Why are you tailing me, hiding from me? Like, what is going on, man? Making a pitiful expression, she meekly squeaked out the words in a voice that she knew would cut into my heart. That agitated me to no end. I knew it was a lie. If you wanted to go home together, then you should have called out to me. Now you're just blurting out random lies.
ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい。
Seemed that the seething anger within me was written all over my face. Without me saying anything, Rena had understood what I was feeling inside.
分かったならほら行けよ。
If you get it, then go! I swung the bat, urging her again to walk. Rena looked back and forth between me and the bat and started walking hesitantly, then stopped again.
早く行けよ早く。
Go on then, hurry!
行くから。
I'm going.
そのバットやめてよ。
So stop with the bat.
怖いの。
It's scary. Rena guarded herself while pointing at me holding the bat. She may have realized that I wasn't planning on using this bat for baseball. I lowered the bat, but still guardedly opened the way for her.
行けよ。
Go.
これなら文句ないだろ。
There's no problem now, is there? There was nothing else she could protest. She passed by me timidly so as to not set me off. As I watched her pass by, she stopped completely after having barely moved at all.
おい立ち止まるなよ。
Hey, don't stop. Uh-oh. Then a powerful gust blew past us, barraging my face with dust. The dust got into my eyes and clouded my vision. While rubbing my eyes with my left hand, I swung blindly with the bat in my right, protecting the small opening I had presented. But Rena didn't even try to attack during that opening. Attack me? No, she hadn't budged an inch. I could tell from the sound of her fluttering skirt in the wind. As her skirt settled, so did the silence. At that moment, the voice inside of me immediately warned me of impending danger. I was caught by surprise. I smelled the air had changed. Without me realizing it, the air around me suddenly felt like a calamity was about to befall me. It was like the air had suddenly become invisible concrete, like Rena and I were locked in this space. Rena didn't move an inch. Also unable to move, I stared at her back. Rena was the first to break the silence. Oh, what's gonna happen? Instantly, she altered her stance. I felt like I had just witnessed her shift from Rena into that other person who looked like Rena. But the voice was the one I knew well, listening with a kind of bewildering pity. Carelessly, I felt relief upon hearing that pitiful voice. ごめんね。 Well, excuse me, but...
聞いてもいい？
Can I ask you something? Too shy to even turn around, Rena squeezed her voice out desperately. As she trembled.
なんだよ。
What?
あのね、どうしてバットなんか持ってるのかな
Well, why do you have a bat? I wonder. The question Rena asked was by no means unexpected.
俺が何を持ってたっていいだろ。
I can carry whatever I want.
でも、昨日まで持ってなかったし、
But you didn't have one until today.
どうして突然
Why so suddenly?
別に突然でもいいだろ。
It's alright if I decide to do something suddenly, isn't it?
俺がバットを持ってるとおかしいかよ。
Is it strange that I have a bat?
だって圭一くん、野球とかしない人だったでしょ
Because Keiichi, you're not the kind of person to play baseball.
おかしいよ。
It's weird. I couldn't tell what kind of answer she was looking for, and I was getting tired of answering her.
突然、野球がしたくなったんだよ。
I just suddenly got the urge to play baseball.
それじゃおかしいか？
Is that so weird?
おかしいよ。
It's weird. She answered instantly, and that annoyed me slightly.
突然野球がしたくなった。
I just suddenly wanted to play baseball.
素振りがしたくなったから、バットを持ち歩いてる。
And I wanted to practice my swing, so I'm carrying around a bat.
それのどこが変なんだよ。
What's strange about that?
変。
Strange.
おかしい。
Weird.
絶対。
Definitely.
なんで圭一くんまで。
Why you too?
ぶつくさとうるせえやつだな。
Your ramblings are annoying me.
俺がスポーツに目覚めるのが、そんなに変かよ。
Is it that strange for me to have an interest in sports? I tried to sound a bit more threatening to end the conversation. Till my suspicions about Rena were cleared, I had no obligation to answer her questions.
ごめんね。そんなに怒らないで。
I'm sorry, don't get so angry. Rena still didn't turn around and spat out words of apology, one after the next.
最後に一個だけ。
Just one last thing.
一個だけ教えて。
Tell me one last thing.
これ以上話す気も教える気もねえよ。
I don't feel like talking anymore.
早く行けよ。
Hurry up and go! I yelled loudly at her, causing her to flinch like she had been struck. Seeing her in such a pathetic state caused my heart to ache sorely. But even though she was afraid, she stubbornly kept herself from moving. Before I was able to threaten her again, Rena asked her final question.
なんでバットまで同じなの
What does that mean? Why is even your bat the same? What does she mean by the bat was the same? I had no idea what she was talking about.
お前、何言ってんだ？
What are you saying?
だから、なんでバットまで同じなのかなって。
I mean, why is even the bat the same?
何を言ってんだか全然わかんねえよ。
I don't understand what you mean at all.
もっとはっきり言え。
Say it clearly. Even still, Rena didn't turn around. After inhaling deeply, she screamed. What?
だから、どうしてバットまでサトシ君と同じなの
I knew it was Satoshi, man. I mean, why is even the bat the same as Satoshi-kun's?
サトシって、え？
Satoshi being... Huh? Upon hearing that name out of the blue, I became dumbfounded for a brief moment. By Satoshi, did she mean the student who transferred out last year? No, that couldn't be. Rena had tried to cover it up by saying he transferred, but Ooishi-san told me quite clearly that he was missing. He was a student who sat at my seat up until last year. He was believed to have been demoned away by Ooishiro-sama's curse. I didn't know the details about his disappearance. The aunt he lived with was killed the night of the Onikakushi by a drug addict. Not long after that, he suddenly vanished and was now missing. That Satoshi and I were... What? My gaze fell to the bat in my hands. Could it be? Satoshi Hojo. It was a bit difficult to see, but that was what was written on the white tape at the end of the bat. Why, you didn't notice that till now? I see. So this was Satoshi's bat.
ああ、
Oh.
これ、サトシのバットだったんだな。
This was Satoshi's bat.
誰も使ってなかったんで、ちょっと借りたんだよ。
Does nobody was using it, I borrowed it.
いいだろ、それくらい。
That's not a problem, is it?
そんなことじゃないの。
That's not it. The way Rena... Okay, wow. The way Rena said that made it seem like this bat was something that should never be touched. Like it's some sort of offering at a shrine, or a memento of the deceased. I feel like it's this one here, a memento of the deceased. I could only stand there, perplexed and unable to respond. Rena continued speaking without waiting for a reply.
サトシ君の時と、どうしてそんなにまで同じなの？
Why is it that you're doing the exact same thing Satoshi-kun did when it happened to him? Are you kidding me? Rena was talking about more than just the bat belonging to Satoshi.
サトシ君もそうだった。
It was the same with Satoshi-kun.
野球チームには入ってたけど、本当は野球なんか好きじゃない人だったのに。
He joined the baseball team, but he didn't really like baseball.
それが俺とどう関係が？
What does that have to do with me?
サトシ君もある日突然バットを持ち歩き始めたの。
Satoshi-kun also suddenly started walking around with a bat one day.
チームに入ってただけでスポーツなんかしない人だったのに。
He joined a team, but he wasn't the type to play sports. What about it? I closed my mouth before I could say that out loud. Listen carefully, Keiichi. Rena is trying to tell us something important.
サトシ君もね、ある日突然一人で登校するようになったの。
Satoshi-kun also one day came to school all by himself all of a sudden.
ケイチ君みたいに。
Just like Keiichi-kun.
そしてね、ある日突然素振りの練習を始めたの。
Then one day he suddenly started practicing his swing.
ケイチ君みたいに。
Just like Keiichi-kun. Okay, I'm sorry.
そしてね、ある日突然バットを持ち歩くようになったの。
Then one day he suddenly began carrying the bat around with him.
ケイチ君みたいに。
Okay.
そしてね、ある日突然。
Then one day he suddenly, are you trying to tell me something? Then one day suddenly, what? Rena had swallowed her words. Rena's sudden silence brought a hush back to the surrounding area. What the hell? It was then that I could finally digest the content of the entire discussion. She was saying my chain of actions was exactly the same as Satoshi's. What was the meaning of this? Up until now, I'd forgotten all about Satoshi. I had never paid much thought to him in the first place. Not only that, I didn't even know anything of what he'd become. Oh, of what he'd done. Wow, okay. My actions today should have been my own creation, after all the planning I had done. But they had been the exact same as Satoshi's? Then Satoshi, no, more importantly, if both Satoshi and I acted the same, then there was a really good possibility that what happened after would be the same.
レナ、ある日突然、サトシはどうしたんだよ。
Rena, that day, what happened to Satoshi? Rena knew. She knew what became with Satoshi. No, forget about what happened to a guy in the past. Rena knew what was going to happen to me.
答えろよ、レナ。
Answer me, Rena.
サトシはどうしたんだよ。
What happened to him? Whoops, I feel like I'm supposed to say Satoshi there. With that, I grabbed Rena's shoulders violently and forcibly turned her around to face me. As I faced her, I felt a jolt travel throughout my entire body. Whoa! I told you.
ケイチ君。
It was that person that I didn't know. At least, it definitely wasn't the Rena Ryugu I'd been talking to up until now. The voice just now didn't have a trace of the trembling or emotion that it had before. The amount of regret I felt for turning her around so carelessly was unsurpassed. That gaze that pierced like a cold needle. The smile on her face that invoked an image of having been carved out by a knife. Chills went down my spine. My mind froze under a layer of rime. Both of Rena's eyes pierced through mine, leaving me unable to look away. As if to remind me of the fear from that time before, Rena brought her face close to mine, so close I could feel her breath. Her face had filled my entire field of vision. Then, her sharply shaped lips grew even sharper. Like the curve of a crescent moon, she grinned.
言ったよね、
Oh, I don't like this. I told you.
ケイイチくん。
What is this? What is the other one? Oh God, you. After a short pause, Rena repeated the same words again.
サトシくんはね、転校しちゃったの。
Satoshi-kun, you see, transferred out. Transferred? Meaning what? What Rena meant must have been some new definition of transfer that I was previously not aware of. My throat and lips dried up. I couldn't even acknowledge what I had just heard. All I could do was swallow down my own saliva. It would seem that Rena saw that as a nod. Oh God. Now you're... She pulled her gaze back and spryly stepped back 2-3 paces. As she did, my legs gave out and I fell to my knees pathetically. Rena and me on my knees underneath her emotionless smile. That had to be a very odd sight indeed. Seeing me in that pathetic state, she neither scoffed at me nor held out her hand. But I could neither stand nor escape with her gaze shooting through my eyes. There was undoubtedly a metal bat in my hand, but right now it was useless to me. I was like a fly caught in her web. Heavy sweat beaded all over my body. I could feel it dripping from my skin.
しないよね、
But you won't, will you?
ケイイチくんは。
Keiichi-kun. Rena finally released me from that cage of time after what felt like an eternity. But her question was missing something important and was incredibly vague. Once again I swallowed hard, urging her on.
何をだよ。
Do what? What does she not want me to do?
転校。
Transfer. Oh God. Jeez. Oh, and it cuts off there? Really? Oh boy, that ends the conversation? Oh my, no, bro. Pitch hitter. Oh. Satoshi and I had what? All my well-planned actions throughout the day turned out to have been nothing more than a reenactment of what Satoshi had done. Satoshi. Had he really been in the same situation as I was in now? The friends he had gotten along with had changed suddenly, and for no reason, at least none that I had noticed, planned to kill him? Then, fearing for his life as I am, he got a bat to protect himself, and carried it around every day to practice his swing? And then one day, suddenly, he transferred. My blood went cold, causing a prickling sensation to course through my veins. Starting near my heart, it radiated outwards, from the top of my head to the soles of my feet, chilling every part of me without recourse. What does she mean by transfer? What does she mean by transfer? Was Satoshi still at wherever he transferred to? Was he the only one who'd be able to understand me? Would he be able to tell me why it all ended up like this? More importantly, where did he transfer to? What did she mean by transfer? What did she mean by transfer? Before I knew it, I was at my front door. The frigid knob was hard to turn. Was nobody home? It wasn't that odd of an occurrence. I reached in my pocket and pulled out the single key attached to my first seal keychain. Oh yeah, I forgot you had that. I stepped into the entryway. Just as I was about to take off my shoes, a chill ran down my spine. Somebody had entered right behind me. Like a classmate messing around. What? Standing right up against my back. Rena? You're kidding, right? It had to be my imagination. Are you that paranoid? Logically speaking, it's impossible for someone to be able to hide their presence within my personal space all the way through the door. But there was undoubtedly someone behind me. Hey now, Keiichi. I did not mean to do that. Why did I do that? How do you know they're there even though they're behind you? Because I could hear the sound of flowing hair. There's no other reason I'd hear that sound. There was the presence. Because I could hear the sound of them blinking. You can hear people blinking? Keiichi might borrow. There's no way you could hear that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The most base instincts were warning me of the presence. Common sense was telling me that it was just my imagination. It was just my imagination. There was nobody behind me. I began to erase the mental image of an eerie figure standing behind me. But at the same time, I asked myself, there was nobody. Then what was I feeling? As an uncomfortable sensation crawled up my spine. Actually, wouldn't it be better if there was somebody there? If there was nobody there when you turned around, would you be able to accept that? I'd be able to answer all those questions just by looking behind me. But I didn't have enough courage to even do that simple task. Oh no, man. Alright. I could try speaking to them. Yeah, that might work. The person behind me might answer me. It was a random thought. I didn't care how I went into it, just so long as I didn't have to turn around. If I'd calmed down and thought about it, I would have known that wouldn't have solved anything.
どなたですか?
It isn't. I spoke in such a hoarse, broken voice that I couldn't believe it was my own. I could almost feel them contemplating their response. I felt it. There's no way I should be able to do that. Calm down, Keiichi. It's on your head. That time I was certain I heard it. As if hesitantly trying to answer my inquiry, I was certain I could hear the sound of somebody inhaling. I heard it. I heard it. I heard it clearly. It was a girl. A young girl. I didn't know who, but a tiny speck of courage in me, however reckless it was, inspired a primal yet fitting resolution to this current predicament. A scream. All the force of my body released from my lungs and through my throat, ceasing all thought processes in my head. Suppressing all my thoughts and emotions, I began to collapse like a house of cards, somehow managing to twist my body and look back as I did so. It was definitely there. Right there. Somebody was there. So the moment I turned around, until I brought the area behind me into my field of vision, they were definitely there. Falling face up, my eyes traced the remnants of the presence suspended in the empty space. It couldn't be. They were invisible. They looked like they weren't there, but were they actually still standing there? As I screamed, all the emotions I was holding back burst free into a violent wave. What are you about to do? However, I was decidedly calm as my emotional dam collapsed. The turbulent wave of pent-up emotions was skillfully diverted into a torrent of aggression. That emotion was definitely required to extricate myself from the bizarre situation happening right in front of me. In my state of heightened ludicrousy, I entrusted my body to the fury. The metal bat held firmly in my right hand as if drawn there by a magnet. A mid-level sweep would be the hardest attack to dodge. I remember reading something like that from a book about swordsmanship or something. This is not swordsmanship. Whoa. Are you really about to like crack someone over the head with this? I brandished my will to fight. The astral image of that amalgamation of metal flashed as it swung from left to right, beating against the entryway. Wow. Oh, not this soundtrack. The bat slammed into the right wall, the tip rebounding violently. Very calmly, I transferred the force of the rebound into a sweep to the left. The door of the shoe cupboard was split into pieces. Those two swings whiffed through empty space, but they seemed to have a great psychological impact on the enemy. I could feel the panic emanating from that space. The attack wasn't the only thing required. I extracted the bat from the cupboard it was embedded in and screamed as I spun my entire body around in a large arc. My scream shook the air, imbuing my ferocious swing with even more destructive power. Crack! Without mercy or restraint, my violent strike, with certainly fatal force behind it, shattered the top of the cupboard. Okay, I don't know if I'm saying that wrong at this point. None of my attack struck the enemy. Blind ferocity had certainly seemed to impact them. Breathing heavily, my entire body soaked in sweat. The invisible enemy, there, but not there, dispersed. What? When I was certain that the enemy had retreated, I locked the front door and latched the chain. No way. Had it only feigned retreat and was now inside my house? Oh no, don't. I just imagine like the music from just now, it's like playing up again and you just start screaming again. Don't do it. Once again, I channeled my aggression and searched the house for the presence. But it was gone. Okay. I had succeeded in fending it off. At that moment, the tension drained from my body, and I let out a deep sigh of relief. Keiichi, you gotta calm down, man. That was definitely not fully there. All the emotions I'd been holding back chaotically merged together and began to flood out. A hodgepodge, wow, that's definitely wrong, of fear, accomplishment, and disbelief all mixed together and began to flow throughout my body. Unable to deal with each individual feeling, I beat them all back with the strongest, exhaustion. You're swinging out like crazy. Even in this moment, I remained composed. After checking that all the doors throughout the house were locked, I went up to my room on the second floor and closed the curtains. I straightened my back and tilted my head a little. After clearing my mind of all my idle thoughts, I managed to calm down even more. What was that at the front door? There was definitely something there. Thinking about it, maybe it was just an apparition I dreamt up in my confused state, but I really didn't think that was the case. Calm down, Keiichi Maibara. Compose yourself. No matter how calmly I thought about it, what just happened wasn't a figment of my imagination. It was obviously a supernatural phenomenon, and without a doubt, something was behind me. It wasn't some sort of illusion I saw amidst my confusion and disorientation. Proof? I had just one piece. When I asked who is it, they inhaled, as if they were about to answer. That sound had clearly reached my ears. I mean, yeah. I mean, you can't hallucinate and hear something. I mean, no. I mean, okay. The situation I was in right now was still unclear. Either I'd been possessed by the supernatural phenomenon known as Ooishi-sama's curse, or this was a ruse by the villagers who believed in it and were imitating it. Either way, their motives were unclear. The roundabout way it had been done was also still a mystery. If it was perpetrated by humans, that would mean admitting that it was Rena and the rest of them doing it, but it would be solvable. Ooishi-san and the rest of the police would surely arrest my enemy. But if it was a manifestation of Ooishi-sama's curse, I wonder what would happen. Ooishi-san very clearly declared that curses didn't exist. At that time, those words were pretty dependable, but as things were now, with the rising possibility that the perpetrators were not human, he suddenly seemed quite unreliable. If I told Ooishi-san this was the work of Ooishi-sama's curse, what would happen? It's not, though. I couldn't imagine his reaction, but it would go without question that a void would expand rapidly between myself and Ooishi-san. With me having so few allies to begin with, and not being able to confidently declare whether or not this was a curse, there was no merit to doing that. I'd better keep the facts of what happened at the doorway to myself. I mean, would you want to tell someone you're going crazy with that bat? It would be better if I didn't add what happened here to the memo behind the clock. There is still the ever so slight possibility that I was actually confused when I thought I was composed, and I was just going berserk in the entryway. I mean, maybe? How wonderful would that be if that was really what happened? I'll be able to refute Ooishi-sama's curse. But if I denied Ooishi-sama's curse, that would mean admitting that Ren and the rest were the perpetrators. If I said that Ren and the rest weren't the perpetrators, then that would mean believing Ooishi-sama's curse. By denying both of those, I would be admitting that I myself was losing it. The three options from which I couldn't choose became a trilemma of sorts. They mixed together and formed a whirlpool in my mind, making my head spin. Once again, I straightened myself and leaned my head back slightly to cool myself down. Calm down, Keiichi. Accept what has actually happened as reality. Stop thinking of anything more than that. But I couldn't help but think of it. How wonderful it would be if it turned out I was delirious and everything up until now was a figment of my imagination. You keep saying that. Like, I don't know what to believe. Oishiro-sama's curse wouldn't exist and I would still be bestest buddies with Rena and the rest. I would have to be crazy. That was the first time in my life I'd ever wished for such a thing. You're definitely, I feel, delirious in some areas, but I just think he needs to, like, hello? The phone rang noisily downstairs. Generally, there were no calls for me, so I never really answered the phone much. But since my parents weren't here, I had no choice. I squirmed off the bed and went downstairs.
もしもし、前原です。
Hello, this is the Maibara residence.
ケイチお母さんだけど。
Keiichi, this is Mom. I intuitively had a bad feeling about this. It was because I thought she was going to ask me to go out and buy some things. So I took the initiative.
何？
What?
別に俺、夕食はインスタントでもいいよ。
I don't mind having instant noodles for dinner.
まだいっぱいあったでしょ。
There's still a lot of them. The other day we went out as a family and bought a whole case of cup noodles. I wanted to get a bunch of different kinds actually, but they were few since the individual packs were expensive. So instead, I got a whole case of the mega-sized pork bone and ginger flavored ones I liked. Ooh, nice. My parents don't like strong flavors and didn't touch any of them. So the cupboards were still full of them.
だからさ、買い物に行く必要はないんじゃないの？
So you see, there really isn't a need to go shopping, right?
ケイチ、買い物のお願いじゃないの。
Keiichi, I'm not asking you to go shopping.
お父さんとお母さんね、お仕事の関係で急遽東京に行かなくちゃならなくなったの。
Oh, I see. So what you're telling me is that I'm all alone at my house now. I'm not asking you to go shopping. Well, Mommy and Daddy have to go to Tokyo right now because of work.
え？
What?
今から？
Right now? That's like the worst timing. Yeah, this was really abrupt.
もう着いちゃってるの。
No, we're already here. What?
お昼には出発してたからね。
We left this afternoon. Did you not notice? It's quite a distance to Tokyo from Hinamizawa. Gunning at full speed down the highway would still take 6 hours. Dad has a license, but since he doesn't like the highway, they likely took the train. It would have taken longer.
ケイチもお父さんとお母さんの話を聞いてたからわかるかもしれないけど、お父さんのお仕事の契約がね、今ちょっとうまくいってないの。
I think you might understand since you heard us speaking last night, but it has to do with Daddy's contract. Right now, things are going so smoothly. Now that she mentioned it, I did remember that they talked all that time about how his job prospects weren't looking so
お
good.
父さんはそういうのに繊細な人だから、このままだとお仕事にも影響が出ちゃうの。
Daddy's really sensitive about things like this, so if we leave things as they are, it will affect his work. Part of my father's particular fragile artistic personality, his emotions change as easily as the fall sky. You could also just say he couldn't take criticism.
でも、そんなの電話でやり取りすればいいじゃないか。
Something like that can be done on the phone.
ケイチ、お父さんのお仕事なんだから、もうちょっと応援してあげて。ね。
Keiichi, this is your father's job, so can you support him a bit, please?
とにかく電話よりも直接会って話した方が早いの。
Anyway, it's just faster to talk about it in person.
誤解もないし。
So there wouldn't be any misunderstanding. Well, that confused me. I was like, how much did I just miss? As their son, there was nothing more I could say once they started talking about work. I did not do that.
だから帰るのは明日の晩になっちゃうの。
So we'll be back tomorrow night.
ケイチ、一人で大丈夫よね。
Keiichi, you'll be fine on your own.
別に死にゃしないよ。
It's not like I'll die or anything. Wow.
ケイチ、死んじゃうなんて軽々しく言っちゃダメよ。
Keiichi, you shouldn't speak so lightly of dying.
心配事があったら相談してね。
If there's something troubling you, just talk to us.
母さん、きっと相談に乗れると思うから。
I believe Mommy will be able to help out. Yesterday I did bring up if I died rather abruptly, so I suppose they were a little worried. But really, I was more depressed by the fact that nothing would be solved by telling them. But I didn't plan on dying. At least not while I still knew nothing. I would never allow it.
死なないよ。
I won't die.
俺は
I won't.
あがいてでも生き延びる。
I'll survive even if I have to gnaw my leg off. Ew.
そう。 ね。
Yeah, see you then.
明日の朝、ちゃんと起きるのよ。
Tomorrow morning, make sure to wake up
朝ごはんは食べてね。
and eat your breakfast.
お風呂と歯磨きも忘れないのよ。
And don't forget to take a bath and brush your teeth.
へいへい。そんじゃ。
Yeah, yeah, see ya. The call ended like that. Sometimes my parents went off to Tokyo for business meetings. But Tokyo was far away. They normally did things by phone. The times they did go were normally planned out in advance. It never happened this suddenly. Oh, now something bad is about to happen. I just feel it. I couldn't say those circumstances didn't feel strange or rather unnatural. Anyway, I only need to recognize the reality of the situation. That tonight, I was the only one in the house. That when my parents came back from work, I'd be gone, missing, vanished. Looking back on the series of events of the previous 5 years involving Ooishi Osama's curse, it wouldn't seem that strange at all. Come to think of it, it was getting pretty late. I didn't think it was good that the only light on in the whole house was from my room on the 2nd floor. Oh, yikes. What a way to give it away. It's like a bright beacon of light, like, hey, I'm here. It was the same as broadcasting to the enemy that my parents were gone, and this was their chance. Just flip on their light, then. First I ran the living room, flicking on the lights, and turning the TV on to a reassuring volume. Whoa, I almost just kicked my cord. Next was the study. I similarly turned on the lights and some music. With this, from the outside, it would look like my parents were here. Once again, I went through the house, checking to see if there was anything left unlocked. When I saw the veranda and the laundry still hanging out there, I went pale. That would have made it too obvious. I need to take it down. I snatched down the laundry haphazardly and erased all traces that my mother wasn't there. It should be fine now. Ah, the garage. They hadn't gone all the way to Tokyo by car, but they had gone up to Okinomiya Station. The garage was empty, wide open, and in plain sight. This was no good. This was not good. I panicked and rushed out the back to close the normally open garage door. It should be fine now. Ah, I need to get the paper. Mom always got the paper. Since they left in the afternoon, the evening paper was still out there. Wow, all these things? My premonition was correct. I pulled out everything from the mailbox and dropped it in the entryway. With this, for sure this time, it should be fine. Come to think of it, leaving the cupboard busted like that from my little freakout was kind of bad. No kidding. I'll just say I tripped and fell, and the bat I was holding smashed into it. Didn't you swing around a bunch, though? Even so, just leaving it in its current state wasn't good. I should clean it up a little before Mom got back and scolded me. Oh? I remember that there was a broom and dustpan in the closet. As I was going to get them, the phone rang once again.
もしもし、前原です。
Hello, this is the Maibara residence.
あら、ケイイチくん？
Huh? Was this Keiichi-kun?
お母様はいらっしゃいますかしら？
Is your mother around?
今ちょっといないんですけど。
She isn't here at the moment. You idiot Keiichi Maibara. Don't reveal that your parents are gone. You can follow up still. Calm down and take care of it.
すぐに戻ると思います。
I think she'll be back soon. That wasn't a good response either. They might say they'll call again or to tell her to call them when she comes back.
なら、結構です。
Then that's fine.
大した話でもありませんから。
It wasn't anything important.
では、失礼しますわね。
Well then, sorry for the bother. The scenario I feared didn't play out, eliciting a sigh of relief. That call was fortunate in more ways than one. I'd have to deal with any telephone calls coming in from my parents tonight. I was somehow able to deal with the phone call just now, but I couldn't continue to rely on such poor imposition. I needed to make up a good story to explain that my parents were home but couldn't answer the phone at the moment. They were making tempura and couldn't step away right now. That wasn't good enough. They were sick and went to bed because they weren't feeling well. Was that going to be safe enough? I was thinking about it on the way back to my room when the phone rang once again. What the hell? It was like they're calling because they knew I was going to lie. I didn't want to pick up, but I knew I had to. They suspect my parents weren't here. I should have just taken the phone off the hook on the pretense that I didn't realize that it was. But since the phone rang, I had to pick it up. Okay, pick it up. God, that is annoying. I prepared myself and lifted up the receiver.
もしもし。
Hello? I stopped announcing this was the Mayabara residence. I had no reason to be kind to someone I didn't know the identity of. Oh? But unlike my uncouth voice, the person on the other side sounded goofy and lighthearted.
どうも、夜分遅くに申し訳ありません。
Oh, thank God. Hello. My apologies for calling so late.
私、沖宮書房の大石と申しますが。
This is Ooishi from the Okinomiya bookstore.
大石さんですか。
Oh, Ooishi-san.
前原さんですか。
Is that you, Mayabara-san?
こんばんは。お元気そうで何よりです。
Good evening. Good to hear you are doing well.
ちょっと待ってくださいね。
Wait just a moment, please. I grabbed the portable handset and rushed up to my room with it. It was the same no matter where I was, since there was no one else home. But I wanted to be in a spot that just felt a bit safer when speaking on the phone with Ooishi-san.
お待たせしました。
Sorry for the wait.
いかがですか、その後お変わりは。
How are things? Anything changed since then? A lot. Since then, when was that exactly? Yeah, when was that? There was something about the Brazilian when he talked that rubbed me the wrong way. The last time I spoke to Ooishi-san was 2 days ago. The day I stayed home from school, I met Ooishi-san on the way back from the hospital, and we headed into town for lunch and had a talk. Then after that, Rena and Mion came to check upon me. Whenever I spoke with Ooishi-san, they always knew about it. It was like that since the first time I met him. Today's phone call may well be found out by them as well.
もしもし、聞
Hello?
こえてますか、前原さん。
Can you hear me, Mayabara-san?
え
Huh?
あ、すみません。
Ah, sorry.
なんて言いました？
What did you say?
その後、何か変わったことはありませんかとお尋ねしたんです。
I asked if anything's changed since last time.
お返事がないんで焦りましたよ。
There wasn't an answer, so I got a bit worried.
特には。
Not. The word stopped in my throat. There was a ton of stuff that happened. All of it baffling. What should I talk about? I didn't understand any of it, but I should try asking. If I didn't ask now, I may never have another chance. This night when my parents weren't home, I had no guarantees I would make it through the night safely after all.
大石さん、やっぱり俺、命を狙われているみたいです。
Well, Ooishi-san, it seems that someone is after me.
本当ですか？
Really?
偶然の可能性もあるんですが、先日俺が病気で休んだ日、夕方にあの二人がお見舞いに来たんです。
It could all just be a coincidence, but that day I missed school when I was sick, the two of them came to check up on me.
あの二人？
Which
レ
two?
ナとミオンです。
Rena and Mion.
そしてそこで、大石さんと一緒に昼飯を食ったことを正されました。
They started asking about how I had lunch with you.
それで、
What next?
お見舞いってことでおはぎを置いていったんですが、その中に針が入ってたんです。
They left me some mochi when they came to visit, but there was a needle inside.
偶然飲み込まずに済みましたが、
Fortunately, I somehow didn't swallow it.
これってやっぱり脅迫でしょうか？
I wonder, could that have been a threat?
その針は？
About the needle.
よく見かけるような普通の裁縫針のようでした。
It was just one of those common sewing needles you see all the time.
糸を通す穴が開いていて、
There was a hole to thread string, though.
違いますよ、前原さん。針です。
Not that, Mayabara-san. The needle itself.
証拠になります。
Oh, that's right. That's evidence.
脅迫だと立証できるかもしれません。
It could be used as proof that they threatened you.
その針はありますか？
Where is that needle? Oh man, you lost it, didn't you? That's right, that's it! I dropped the receiver and rushed downstairs. When I tossed the mochi, I had overlooked it out of terror, but that needle was a valuable piece of evidence. Let's see, I threw the mochi and needle at the wall together. If it was there, then it would be on the living room wall. My prudent mother had cleaned that living room wall, and there was not a trace of mochi left on it. Could it be that it dropped in the gap between the wall and the carpet? I frantically searched by running my palm through the carpet, but nothing turned up. I tried moving around the sofa and desk, pulling up the carpet, then flapping it around. But I couldn't find the needle. Did my mom clean up everything without noticing it? was just 2 days ago. I didn't know what day they collected the burnable trash, but it may still be in the trash bin in the kitchen. I rushed in the kitchen, opening up the lid of the pail, and poured out the contents. But even at a glance, I could tell that it would be incredibly difficult to find the needle in this pile of trash. It's like a needle in a haystack. I was looking for... I was looking for a needle in a trash stack. Nah, that sounds dumb, but I mess with it, honestly. I know, I'll try running my hand through it. It's a bit gross, but I was looking for a needle. If a small prick, I'll be able to find it. It's a pretty tactless method, but it was the quickest. I held my breath and started striking the pile of trash with my hand. Filth flew about. There was nothing more disgusting than this. But it was not the time to be concerned about such details. I continued on for a while, but nothing turned up. I wanted to search more thoroughly, but I was still on the phone. I shouldn't keep Ooishi-san waiting for too long. Later, when Mom got back, I'd have to ask her if there was a needle. I hastily began scribbling on the notepad affixed to the refrigerator with a magnet. Was there a needle? I scrawled the words with a red pen. I then dashed back up the stairs where I had been keeping Ooishi-san waiting for far too long.
もしもし、
Hello?
どうでしたか？
How did it go?
見つかりません。
I couldn't find it.
あの時はつい気が動転していて、
I was really overwhelmed when it happened and...
そうですか。
I see.
見つかればでいいんです。
It would be great if you could find it.
保管しておいてくださいね。
Keep it safe. I don't know why I paused there. I got confused. That's right. The needle wasn't the only incident. I had to tell him about this morning with the hit and run.
あと大石さん、それだけじゃないんです。
Also, Ooishi-san, that isn't all.
実は今朝、
Actually, this morning, that van was definitely aiming for me. I could say that without question due to the circumstances at that time.
その車のナンバープレートは見ましたか？
Did you see the license plate? Oh, man. I know you didn't you?
こちらでも探してみます。
I can search for it from here. Damn. At the time, I just flipped out yelling at him, but I didn't look at the plate. What failures on my part with the needle and the plate number. I was so focused on just protecting myself that I let some of the most important details slip out of my grasp. I punched my pillow, annoyed at how worthless I was.
すみません。白いワゴン車ってこと以外はわかりません。
I'm sorry. I don't know how much more than it was a white van.
仕方ないことですよ、前原さん。
Nothing to fret about, Maebara-san.
惹かれかければ気も動転します。
Anyone would be shaken up after being hit.
やっぱりこれだって偶然じゃないですよね。
I guess all of this really isn't a coincidence, is it? Ooishi-san started to hem and haw with the other end. I can imagine him folding his arms.
あと、レナの様子もやっぱり怪しいです。
Also, Rena is acting strange.
それはどんな感じですか？
How so? What Rena said on the way home today, asking why it was so much like Satoshi-kun. Now I could say it with confidence. That Rena knew what happened to Satoshi. She knew that there was more to it than him just simply disappearing.
レナは知っています。
Rena knows.
去年の鬼隠しにあったサトシのことを何か知っています。
Rena, she knows something regarding what happened to Satoshi, the kid who was demoned away last year.
それは具体的にどういうことですか？
What would that be exactly?
レナが言うには、俺はサトシとそっくりらしいんです。
Rena said it was the same as Satoshi.
このまま行くと、俺もサトシと同じ運命をたどると、そんな感じのことを言うんです。
She said something to the effect that the way things are going, I'll end up with the same fate as Satoshi.
運命ですか？
Fate, you say?
具体的にどんな運命をたどるか言及しましたか？
Exactly what kind of fate did she say would befall you?
転校と。
Transferring out, she said.
転校？
Transferring out?
レナは、サトシは転校したって言ってるんです。
Rena said Satoshi transferred out.
で、俺もこのままだと、転校しちゃうぞって。
So, given how things are going with me, I'll transfer out, too. Ooishi-san let out a stern sigh and then grumbled loudly.
前原さん、それはおそらく何かの脅迫、もしくは警告ですね。
Maibara-san, that was probably some sort of threat, or maybe some type of warning.
俺もそう思ってます。
I thought so too. At that point, I started to think. Would it be prudent to sum up everything that had happened up until now as the machinations of some human perpetrator? Other than the theory of it being Rena and the others, I was left with Oyashiro-sama's curse actually existing as the only explanation. Of course, I couldn't tell that to Ooishi-san. Except, Rena's strange behavior could be proof of either scenarios. Whether it was Oyashiro-sama's curse being real or everything being a part of a conspiracy committed by all the villagers. Hold on, chat. stream. Hold on. Let me just pull back up chat. Okay, there we go. Rena was involved. Rena had to know something. Rena was suspicious. What exactly was Rena? I couldn't help but think she was somehow involved with the prior string of mysterious deaths. But how much, though? I seem to recall that Ooishi-san had admitted that he had dug into Rena's past a little. He probably just downplaying when he said a little. Yeah, knowing him, definitely not. He definitely like looked into it a bit. Meaning he had actually dug pretty deep, most likely. I wanted to hear more about Rena. I want to know what happened to her at her previous school, among other things that were still unknown to me. If Rena was somebody I should suspect, no, not that. I wanted to know the truth. Tonight I was alone in this huge house. Even though I said I couldn't count on them, I had lost the security I felt I had just by my parents being around. It wasn't like this house was some sort of fortress or castle. If a malicious person decided to use brute force, they'd easily gain entry. There was no other residence close to the Maebara residence. No one would be able to hear anything, no matter how loud it was. I'd never felt as much resentment towards my father's artistic temperament and the fact that he had this house built in such a remote location as I did right now. Oh no, I wonder if I would still be here by tomorrow morning. So I had to ask, right now, because I had no idea when the next chance would come.
大石さん、聞きたいことがあるんです。
Are you not gonna ignore the fact that there's the door ringing? Ooishi-san, I have something I wanted to ask about.
隠さないでくださいね。
Please don't keep anything from me.
ええ、何でも聞いてください。
Sure, ask away. Even though he was so far away on the other side of the line, this was the most reliable he had ever felt. I wanted to ask about Rena, about what happened at her previous school.
実はレナの
Actually, regarding Rena's... I noticed this sound had been going on for a while now. Since I was so focused on the call, I hadn't paid attention to it at first. But I finally realized it was the doorbell. Oh, whoops. I accidentally skipped a line. The time was 7 o'clock. It was past the time the postman would be making a delivery, and past any sensible time for a neighbor to be visiting. I reconsidered just acting like nobody was home, but that wouldn't be good. That would ruin all the work I put in making it look like my parents were home. I need to answer the door.
もしもし、前原さん
Hello? Maebara-san.
あ、すみません。誰か来たみたいですので、ちょっと玄関に行ってきます。
It's a really bad idea. Sorry. Someone seems to be at the door. I'm going to see who it is.
お客さんですか。すみません、すみません。
A guest? I see. My apologies.
今夜のお電話はこれくらいにしましょうか。
Should we end this phone call now? No, that would be a problem.
あ、いえ、すぐ戻りますから。
Oh no, I'll be back in a second.
電話はこのままでいいですか？
Do you mind if I just leave the phone on?
はいはい、構いませんよ。
It's fine. I don't mind. I dropped the handset on my bed and dashed down to the door. I needed to make up a good excuse to get them to leave. I had a hunch that it was the lady who called right before Ooishi-san did. Oh, well. In which case, it would be one of the neighbors who's friends with my mom. I'll just say mom isn't feeling well and went to bed early. Oh, whoops. That would be the easiest option. It'd be hard for her to ask me to wake my mom if she's not feeling well. The bell continued to ring at regular intervals. If someone didn't answer after you rang the bell so much, you'd normally give up and go home, wouldn't you? Yeah, this is interesting. Without removing the chain, I opened the door slightly and peered out at the visitor. A chill ran down my spine. Oh no. Is it Rena? I knew it. Somewhere deep inside I had prepared for this moment. I had tried to escape by imagining it was the easiest person to deal with. One of my mom's friends. Rena? Rena? Rena?
こんばんは。
Oh no. Good evening.
レナ。
Rena. There shouldn't be any reason for Rena to come over at this hour. The timing also made me feel uneasy. Because it was just as I was about to ask Ooishi-san about Rena. I wish I could have chalked this up to mere coincidence. But those unsettling words from Mion several days ago echoed back to me.
さーてね。
There's nothing
おじさんにわからないことはないからね。
this old man doesn't know. What's the way her hand is positioned?
レナ一人。
Are you alone, Rena?
うん。
Yeah? Seems that Mion wasn't with her. But that didn't change the situation at all.
何しに来たんだよ。
Why did you come here?
ねえ、ケイチくん。ちゃんとドアを開けてお話ししたいな。
Hey, Keiichi-kun, I'd like you to open the door so we can talk. Yeah, no.
レナは玄関に入っちゃダメなのかな
Can I come inside? I wonder. It was true that speaking through a chained door wasn't the right way to talk to a classmate. But...
うち、夜は必ずチェーンかけてるんだよ。
Oh, man, that was a bad excuse. At my house, the chain has to be set on at night.
気にすんなよ。
Don't worry about it.
なら、仕方ないかな。
Then it can't be helped, I guess. Rena looked at the ground sadly. But she kept smiling at least, and her effort to keep that smile up was quite pitiful. Even though she was tugging at my heartstrings, I didn't lower my guard. As long as I stayed like this, even if it made my heart ache, my life wasn't in danger. What do the other sprites look like? Oh, this one. What I really feared, more than the possibility that hoodlums would assault me if I removed the chain, was trusting Rena enough to remove the chain and having my friendship betrayed. I guess this is this is it. Like, if you try something after this, like when I'm home by myself and like I let my guard down, like, no, at that point you just can't trust it. Oh, hello there. Since it didn't seem like I'd removed the chain from her silent urging, she appeared to give up on trying to get into the entryway. Entranceway. Wow, English is
あの
like
さ、ケ
not
イチくん。
there.
ご飯食べた
Have you eaten yet, Keiichi-kun? No, I haven't eaten. Since my mom wasn't there, dinner wouldn't be ready for, no matter how long I waited. I laid down when I got home, was woken up by the phone, and didn't have a chance to eat since I used up all that time talking. I was going to have cup noodles in any case. I could just eat one whenever I wanted to.
いや、まだだよ。
No, not yet.
それがどうしたよ。
What about it?
じゃあよかった。
Chat, why is it... Oh no, I don't trust Rena, man. Like, this is it. Like, this is like, all my trust, like, my trust is like, almost out the window already, but like, if you try something now, like, yeah, no, it's blown out the window after that. Then
これ
good.
見て。
Look here. I'm planning on reading the whole series. We're gonna most likely finish Onikakushi tonight. I'm gonna take a few days off because I want YouTube to catch up with, like, a little bit. It's not gonna, like, yeah, like, I'm not gonna wait that long. Probably, like, another 3-4 days before I stream again, maybe. If I feel like it, I might even stream, like, I don't know, whenever I feel like streaming, really. But, like, it'll be in a couple days. But, yeah, definitely soon we'll, like, yeah, we're definitely reading everything. Even the, like, console arcs, too. We'll literally read everything Higurashi related. Look
お惣
here.
菜とか持ってきてあげたの。
I brought a bunch of dishes. Rena held out a stack of boxes wrapped in a cloth.
お台所とか貸してくれれば、お味噌汁も温めてあげられるよ。
If I could use your kitchen, I can heat up the miso soup and some other stuff. Oh, wow.
いい
Great.
よ、そこまでしてくれなくても。
It's fine. You don't need to do that.
でも、お豆腐もお野菜もたっぷりなの。
But there's a lot of tofu and vegetables in it.
ケイチくん、 そういうの嫌いかな
Yeah. I can tell it's a great story, and like, yeah. Even though, yeah, it does sound hard to say when, you know, you can't tell if that smile's a good thing or like she's about to kill you. I don't know. It could be one or the other at this point. Does Keiichi not like that type of stuff, I wonder? There's no way I wouldn't like that. I love miso soup with lots of ingredients. White radish, carrots, burdock root, and potatoes. Dense and fibrous root vegetables. I can't believe I just said that so wrong. I butchered that. Yeah, that miso soup looks incredible.
ご飯も持ってきてあげたから、レンジで温めればすぐ食べられるし。
Why do you always pull at my heartstrings, Rena? I can't tell what you want anymore. I also brought rice, so if you microwave it, it'll be ready to eat in no time. Without a doubt, rice needs miso soup. Stuffing rice down your gullet. Sipping miso soup in between ravenous bites. Yeah, like, oh my god, like, I don't know, like, Rena, I want to trust you, but you're making it so difficult. Oh yes, how wonderful it is to be born Japanese!
それからね、またお漬物を作ってきたんだよ。
Also, I made some more pickles. Oh, that's right. I forgot about the pickle stuff. That was like brought up like in the first 10 minutes of like the very beginning of this chapter. I remember the pickle stuff. That's
今度は
right.
山菜のお漬物なの。
I made sansai pickles this time. Before I had moved here to Hidemizawa, I scouted the mountain vegetables called sansai. But I was captivated by their charm the first time I tried them. Such a deep, yet light flavor. Those so-called supermarket vegetables taste rough and overpowering in comparison. If you had to describe them, then they were the vegetables for the uninitiated. Yeah, to trust or not to trust, that's the real question. To become an expert such as myself, you first had to partake of sansai. It was common knowledge around here that the Ryugu family's traditional pickles were wonderfully delicious. Oh, I did not mean to click that. No matter what kind of pickles they were, they'd go so well with that fluffy white rice.
それからね。
And also, but wait, there's more. Wait a minute, why did he get so trusting all of a sudden? So delicious. It just seems so delicious. Farewell to my unhealthy self who said he'd make do with cup noodles. Rena appeared to be in good spirits, and she was offering such a delicious-sounding dinner. No, I haven't. I'm gonna read it after I finish Higurashi, though. The stress evaporated from my gut, and hunger reared its wow, what a word. Voracious head? At the same time, my wariness of Rena suddenly dwindled. Rena did say she was alone. It shouldn't be a problem letting her inside. Though, the possibility that it was laced with poison still hadn't been ruled out. That'd be a yikes. At that moment, a cold chill ran down my spine once again. Oh, is he suddenly regaining the, hey, we shouldn't be trusting her right now? I couldn't understand why such a sensation had occurred just then. Nice. But the voice inside me was sounding the alarm. This happy Rena, speaking of this charming dinner, was dependent on one premise. Yeah, here comes the creepy music. And that premise was that tonight, dinner hadn't been made at my house. Well, yeah, I just realized that is weird. Meaning it was under the assumption that my mom, who should be making it, wasn't here. Yeah, wait, that is weird. Hold on. At any normal household, 7 o'clock would be around the middle of dinner time. If my mom were here, we'd be eating dinner around this time as well. The fact that she brought over all the makings of a meal at this time was inherently strange. Yeah, right? Like, how's that not weird? Unless she knew. Rena, did she know that my parents weren't home? I love Keiichi as protagonist. I think he's one of my favorite protagonists I've ever seen. I don't know, like I like him. He's a really good protagonist to me. I love his dilemma. I like, I like Keiichi a lot. He's good. But there was also the chance that this was the bluff. I had turned on the lights and a bunch of other stuff to make it seem like my parents were here. There was a chance that Rena was unsure if my parents were home. But I had to wonder. The laundry, the garage, the evening paper. There were plenty of signs of them being hastily tidied up. It was hard to say that Rena didn't have a chance to determine if my parents were here or not. But there was no reason for me to confess that right now. I should try holding on to that fact as long as I could. First of all, the chain was still latched. As long as I didn't take it off, Rena wouldn't be able to do anything to me. Really? I'm
ありがたいん
surprised.
だけどさ、もう少しで夕飯ができるみたいなんだよ。
I'm surprised people don't like Keiichi. He definitely has some flaws I'm noticing, but like, everyone's got flaws. I'm quite grateful, but dinner will be ready pretty soon.
え、
Huh?
そうなの？
Is that so? Yeah, if there's a tier list, I definitely have like Keiichi like S. Oh, that's right, I am doing a tier list actually. Once I finish this, not today, but like right before we do Watanagashi, I'll be doing like I'll be probably streaming like the tier list for like chapter 1 characters. It'll probably be like real quick, but I mean, I just want to do that real quick before we do Watanagashi. Is that so?
そうなの？
Is that so?
せっかくで申し訳ないんだけどさ、その、
I know you went through all the effort of I know you went through all the effort and everything, but well, unable to think of a good way to refuse. My words trailed off weakly.
でも、ちょっとはおかずになると思うな。思うな。
But some of this could work as side dishes, I think, yeah. I think I'd prefer a character with a lot of flaws versus no flaws.
悪いけど、間に合ってるよ。
I'm sorry, we have more than enough
う
already.
ちのお袋ってさ、結構おかずをいっぱい作るんだよ。
My mom always makes quite a few sides.
だから、
So... Oh boy.
え、おかず、あるの？
Huh? You have side dishes? With a smile that bordered on a cringe, I dodged her questions apologetically. But the feeling I tried to ignore began creeping up my back again. I spoke as if my mom was setting down dinner right now, but it didn't mesh well with what Rena was saying. Rena was talking as if she was aware of some obvious fact. And that, I was aware of it as well.
ケイチくんもおかずとか作れるんだね。
So Keiichi-kun can cook.
何を作ったのかな？
What did you make, I wonder? What does that mean? Do you know my parents aren't home? Like, what is this? Why is that the response you think of?
いや、その、別に俺が、
I know, like, some visual novels have, like, bland, like, self-insert, or just, like, they don't have much, like, emotion. I prefer this a lot better. Like, Keiichi clearly has flaws, like, pros, he's got personality. Like, I'd much prefer that over someone that's, like, yeah, that, like, pertains to everybody. Like, I'd rather have a Keiichi-type protagonist, like, yeah, self-insert. Rena had assumed out of nowhere that I had made the dishes, but that's weird. No, not so much that I'd made them, but rather that my mom hadn't.
本当に作ったの？
Did you really make them?
おかず、
The side dishes.
ケイチくんが？
Did you, Keiichi-kun?
だから、俺が作ったんじゃないよ。
It wasn't me who made them.
お袋が作った。あ、いや、作ってるんだよ。
No, my mom did. No, she's making them.
今、
Right now! You clearly do not believe me, Rena. No!
だからさ、悪いけど、レナの持ってきてくれたのは食べられないんだよ。
So you see, I'm sorry, but I can't eat what you brought. Rena fell silent at that moment. At that moment, I felt that the light had suddenly disappeared from her eyes. I know, right? Most protagonists are literally just like, they're only nice. Like, I'd prefer, yeah. It's like one-dimensional. I don't like one-dimensional. All of this is like, yeah, no, not one-dimensional. There's depth. Rena fell silent at that moment. At that moment, oh no, that's right. I already read that.
ケイチくんのお夕飯当ててみようか？
How about I try guessing what Keiichi-kun's dinner will be? Excuse me?
なんだっていいじゃないか。
It doesn't matter what I'm going to eat.
ね。
Let's see. I don't like why you're trying to guess that. How does he... Oh, whoops. Oh, okay. That's like... Conversation might appear natural at first glance, but Rena was firmly in control. Yeah, she's clearly trying to push me into a corner here. It felt like I was being interrogated.
そのお夕飯、お湯だけで作れるんじゃないかな。
There's no way you know that. What? Your dinner. I wonder, is it something that could be made with just hot water? There's no way you know. Didn't he? No. You said this a while back. Where is it? Where is it? No, I can't find it. Oh, no. I can't find it. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, it doesn't show back on the feed. I know he said something about it being like ramen or something. Oh, yeah, he has quite the imagination.
おいおい、侮るなよ。
Hey now, stop with the insults.
うちのお袋のスペシャルなディナーを見くびるなってんだ。
I can't believe you belittled my mom's extravagant dinner like that.
そりゃもう満願全席状態ですごいのなんの。
Tickets sold out. Full capacity already. It's that amazing. I tried my best to put on a strong front, but I couldn't grit my teeth quite right. So instead, I looked like someone who's borderline hysterical. That's starting to be a trend, isn't it? You're borderline hysterical and you don't know what to do. That's not a, like, oh man. I just don't know. They made a point of hysteria with, like, oh, that's right. In a previous tip, they made a point on hysteria on, like, how, yeah, I don't know. I forget. I'm gonna need to look back later. Rena showed no reaction whatsoever, even to that silliness.
ケイチくん、
Keiichi-kun,
本当にお母さん、ご飯作ってってくれたの？
did your mother really leave you dinner?
いや、だから、くれたんじゃなくて、今作ってるんだよ。
No, you see, she didn't leave me dinner. She's making it right now.
もうすぐ晩飯に。
It's almost time for dinner. Rena had taken that assertion of mine that my mother was home and making dinner right now and was completely ignoring it. Oh, okay, Rena. Just completely ignore everything I say. Yeah, I don't know. He could be like completely like, I don't know. This could either be like he's just seeing things. I don't know. It's a lot of different things it could be. He's definitely a little paranoid. Like some of the stuff, man. I can tell that the more I panicked, the colder Rena became. Oh, that's interesting.
ねえ、ケイチくん、
Oh, no way. Don't do it. I already know it. You're gonna go freaky face mode. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready, Rena. You can do it, but I'm ready. At that moment, an uncomfortable chill crept in from the gap in the doorway.
お母さん、
Okay, no,
お
you
家
didn't.
にいるのかな？か
Is your
な？
mom home? I wonder. I feel like I'm about to die. So I'm about to get attacked, I feel like. I feel like it's a... he's definitely... that's tough. I think he's definitely in some actual danger here. I feel like with some of their actions more recently, it's like... He's... The way... Yeah, no. Because first of all, he got hit by that, like, that van. There we go. I forgot about that. He got hit by that van earlier, and it was like... It was clearly like they were hitting him on purpose. He's like... He says that, and I definitely believed him when he said he got hit, like, intentionally by that person. I definitely believe that. So, like, I definitely think he's in some danger. In danger from his friends, though, that's a different story. I don't know. That's more of a tough one. Like, he's definitely in danger from somebody, but, like, I don't know. His friends could be, like, yeah. I'm down the middle with his friends, but in general, yeah. I definitely think he's in danger of some sort. Is your mom home, I wonder? I couldn't keep up the charade anymore. Rena. She knew full well that my parents weren't home. But I had come too far to admit that now. Anyway, my parents were here and we'd be having dinner soon. That was the situation I had concocted. Wow. So I answered. I told her she was here.
いるよ。もちろん。
She's here, of course. I don't know why his tone of voice was like that. Oh yeah. I feel like I feel like once I'm done and I watch back on like first timers, like I feel like I'm gonna feel like the same way. Cause I love making theories. It's fun even if I'm wrong. I could feel the humidity drying out from the surrounding air. Rena's eyes were becoming even more frigid, piercing me with their... Wow! What is with these weird words? Jalid? Glare. Oh! No, bro. I was not ready. I was not ready. I said I was ready. I was wrong. I knew she was going freaky face mode, but I was ready. Why?
何のことかな
Huh? What do you mean? Oh no, this music gives me the chills the most, man. This is the worst. This is the worst one. This is the worst one so far. I tried acting casual, but that facade was torn off the instant I looked into Rena's eyes. That look. It informed me of Rena's response faster than she could open her mouth.
どうしてさっきから嘘をつくのか
Oh!
な
No, bro.
かな
Why have you been lying to me? I wonder. No, bro. What is this CG? Get out of my door.
嘘なんか
I'm not lying.
嘘だよね
That's a lie, isn't it?
嘘なんかじゃ
It's not a lie.
嘘だよ
Rena's outburst sent a jolt surging through my body. I like having a challenge, like, yeah, especially in my stories, like, I love being challenged. Rena and I were still separated by what few inches that slightly ajar, but still chain door could afford. Yeah, they are base, man. But despite that, I was still being cornered. My house, which I'd consider a safe haven up until now, had become more like a dark alleyway where no one could save me. Wow. That is an interesting, like, metaphor. I dig it, though.
ケイチ君のお夕飯当てるよ
Shall I guess your... Okay, interrupt me, Rena, sure. Shall I guess your dinner, Keiichi-kun? Let's see. I knew now that Ren had already known my parents would not be here tonight. But it was still so strange that it had come to this. Oh no. Even if she somehow knew that my parents weren't home, there was no way she should be able to guess what I'd be eating tonight. No, she definitely knows. There's no way. But Rena said she'd guess. How could she guess it? I know. I love the narration. The narration is amazing. I think it's definitely the best narration I've ever seen. How could she know it was instant?
カップラーメン
Oh, yep.
当たりでしょ
Cup noodles. That's right, isn't it? Wow. Okay. That I was going to eat. Wait, the cooking here's another word I'm gonna butcher. Repertoire of a man who can't do homework is probably nothing but cup noodles after all. Looking at this statistically, it was the most probable answer. That didn't mean she was guessing.
ラーメンだけじゃきっとお腹すくと思うな
Oh, I remember that one scene. It was like he was talking about like Rena with a bat and like no, I remember it was Rena smashing the windows in case he was like imagining what would happen if like someone got in Rena's way, and it's like he was just imagining himself getting like hit over the head and then like, oh my god, didn't he say something about like how it was like his head would pop open like cranberry juice or something? Oh god, I imagined it and I was like, oh no. I remember that earlier in the stream and I just cringed, bro. I'm thinking you'll be full with just noodles.
ご飯とかも一緒の方がきっと腹持ちいいと思うよ
I think having rice and stuff will definitely hit the spot. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. This was just coincidence. I was just reading certain tales of mine. So the fact that she was inferring what I was thinking alarmed me. We definitely had some mind reader moments earlier though, Keiichi, so I don't know. Maybe it's not that bad. But it wasn't as if she was actually reading my mind. If it was being read, then she was a demon. Okay. No, not a demon. Things like that don't exist. They couldn't possibly exist.
好きなの？
Do you like them?
ラーメンがかよ。
Do you mean noodles?
豚
What?
骨生姜味。
What? No. Is that... What does that word mean? What? I'm actually confused. Why is it censored? I'm lost. I literally don't know what that could be. What? I'm trying to like fit words, like the number of words. Oh my god, no. Them talking about Tometake clawing out his own throat and just knowing how messed up it was, like, no. Ah. I was introduced to Higurashi from the anime as well. I remember, like, my friend, like, put on, like, an episode, and I was like, oh, bet. I'm gonna try it. I got hooked instantly. Rena indicated that the point my answer was addressing was wrong. Her rebuttal was so short that I momentarily didn't understand the words Rena had spoken. Yeah, okay. So that was intentional. I was like, why is it censored?
ごめん、レナ。
Sorry, Rena.
今、なんて。
What did you say just now?
え？
Huh?
何が？
About what?
今さ、何が好きって聞いたんだよ。
Just now, you asked me if there was something that I liked, didn't you? It wasn't long before I regretted how carelessly I'd pushed forward with that question. Oh man, such a simple answer. That's why I wasn't able to comprehend it. No, let me stop. No, don't stop.
豚骨生姜味。
Pork bone and ginger flavor. Oh no, it is. I had to think on that. Yeah, okay. He did mention pork bone and ginger flavor as being like his favorite or something. He definitely brought it up. How do you know that? I wondered how I appeared in the moments my mind went completely blank until the moment I was able to recover. Oh my god. I love the narration here. I just can't help it. I was like, wow, that's put me in awe. As my field of view began to distort, slowly swirling in a counterclockwise direction, I lost all sense of balance. Oh, don't fall
なんで
over.
そこまでわかるんだよ。
Why do you know about that? Oh, I added about, but I mean, sure, that works. I didn't even deny it. That was the type of frenzied state I was in. I mean, at this point, like, we all know, like, there's no more denying it. How could Rena know even this? Not even caring as I mashed my head against the door, I fixated my gaze on Rena. What does he mean by I know, right? Like, I keep putting the benefit of the doubt. I'm thinking they're a red herring. They're made to look really suspicious. But, like, how am I supposed to, like, not, like, be suspicious of them when they do the most suspicious stuff, like, imaginable? Like, it's only so long I can do the benefit of the doubt. Like, can they not tell he's paranoid at this point? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just, like, I don't know. I don't understand. I'd love to see from their point of view what they're thinking, because this just doesn't make sense. Not even caring as I mashed my head against the door, I fixated my gaze on Rena. But she didn't even flinch when she saw me do that. Oh, really?
確かに買った。
I certainly did buy them.
まとめて買った。
I bought a bunch at once.
俺が箱買いした。
I bought a whole case.
それがどうしてわかるんだ。
How could you know that?
なんでかな？
Why, I wonder.
不思議だね。
I know, right? Why, I wonder. Quite strange, isn't it?
だね。
Isn't it? Like, why are you pressed up against the door like this? Like, how am I supposed to not get creeped out by this? If my friend did this to me, like, I'm being freaked out, even if I'm not suspicious of them. Like, peering at them to the door like, oh yeah, I'm just, like, I stalked you and know all, like, your food. But, like, you know, that's not weird, is it? Like, no, it is weird. How could you dodge the question at a time like this? The chain and the door suddenly were no longer protecting me. Oh, yeah, no, this is not protecting you at this point. Oh, my God, no. She has a hatchet
どう
on
してわ
her
かる。
head. How do you know?
なぜ知ってる。
Why do you know?
答えろ。
Answer me.
買ったのはセブンスマート
Bought them at 7th Mart.
だよね。
Didn't you? A shiver ran up my spine. I tried covering it up with an angry facade.
だから、なんでわかるんだよ
Like I said, why do you know that?
ケイイチくんの後ろ
What?
ずっとくっついてたから。
I know. I was behind you, following you the whole time.
何を言ってんだよ
What are you saying? I couldn't understand why she was saying she'd been following me all this time.
だから
That's because
レナが
Rena was, oh, don't say it,
ケイイチくんの
right behind
後ろに
Keiichi-kun's back
ずっとくっついてたの。
the whole time. I know, like his aggressiveness, like it's just like wow. The voice actor killed it. Oh, that laugh! Why do you laugh like that? Like that night. That night I was absorbed in my phone call with Ooishi-san. I didn't even sense her being there. Standing behind the door, behind me, standing there, just like that.
ケイイチくんがいろんなラーメン選んでるとこ、後ろからずっと見てたの。
When Keiichi was... Oh, okay, she dropped the honor fic there. When Keiichi was picking out the noodles, I was watching the entire time.
いろんな種類を選んでたんだよね。
You picked out so many different flavors, didn't you?
それでお母さんに怒られたの。
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that, but now that you mention it, like yeah, I can now recall a few instances of his voice cracking. I don't notice that. You picked out so many different flavors, didn't you? Then your mom got angry. Oh, I remember this.
高いラーメンばっかり選ぶから、一種類にしなさいって。
If you were going to pick the expensive ones, then they should just pick one type, she said.
それでケイイチくん、大好きな大きいカップの豚骨生姜味を選んだんだよね。
Then Keiichi-kun picked out that big box of pork bone and ginger flavor that he loves so much, didn't he? What's with the star, man? This is not helping.
レナも好きだよ。
Bro, okay, now that I'm like looking to like, I'm tilting my head, so like I see her face, and it makes it so much worse. Cause like this is at a weird angle, and like now that I'm tilting, it's like, oh god. Is it really? I watched the first episode of the dub, actually.
豚骨ラーメン。
Pork bone noodles.
でも、大きいカップは全部食べきれないけどね。
But I can never eat a whole big bowl myself. My brain was paralyzed, dulling my senses. It might have been a defense mechanism to diminish the fear I was feeling to non-traumatizing levels. With the fear being diminished, the fog enveloped my mind was cleared away. Oh no. Then, I could understand what Rena was saying and started to put meaning behind her words. Even so, my fear hadn't subsided completely. It was like I was standing at the edge of a cliff, eyes closed so I didn't have to look down. It didn't actually solve any of the basic problems. Wow. What a... I slowly took a step backwards. And as I withdrew, Rena advanced. Oh, don't tell me about the break-in. If you got your hatchet, I got a bat. Let's go. No, don't try it.
だからケイチくん、
So, Keiichi-kun,
ここを開けて。
can you open this?
レナと一緒にご飯食べよう。
We can eat dinner together.
きっと美味しいから。ね。
I'm sure it's going to be delicious, so... Okay? No. Oh! Why are your hands on the door? Oh, don't do it. Don't try it. Some instances sound a little weird. I guess. I definitely do remember that. Rena's pale, slender fingers squirmed through the crack in the door one at a time, as if they had a mind of their own, rattling the chain. Oh. Oh! Don't say it like that. Squirm through the crack. If she had unlatched the chain from the door, a feeling of terror would have just exploded within me. But Rena didn't do that. Oh my god, my heart's actually racing so bad. What are you about to do? She's simply imploring me to remove the chain, as she put her hands on the door, all creepy-like, as she's staring at me with that weird eye. And then her hand's right next to the chain. Normal, right? I tried my hardest to light the fuse to the powder keg in my heart. Oh no, bro, I'm actually so nervous. Trying again and again. Clatter, clatter. But it doesn't light. It doesn't light! Oh no, bro. My heart is beating, bro. I'm scared.
開
What's
けて。
Is this where the chapter ends? Like, am I about to get, like, in a big, like, oh no. Open up?
ケイチくん、
Keiichi-kun? Oh, I'm scared.
帰ってくれ
Please, go away.
頼むから帰ってくれ
I beg you. Please, go away.
どうしてそんな意地悪を
Oh,
言う
her
のか
face
な
changed.
かな。
Oh, I just recently started watching Death Note too. The dub is good, yeah. How can you say something so mean? I wonder. I wonder. Oh no. Oh god. Am I about to like scream? Am I gonna have to scream? I feel like. Oh god. I gotta. I gotta clear my throat. I feel like something's about to happen. I gotta like get my voice ready for it. Please go away. Go away. Go away. The powder keg inside me finally went off. No smoldering. It just exploded. I tackled the door. Oh boy. The force through the door had knocked Rena momentarily off balance. I couldn't hesitate here. I grabbed on the doorknob with both hands, planted my feet firmly, and pulled all my might. But that slamming sound I so desired didn't happen. Nah, I like Reed. Why not? Oh my god, that hurt my throat to do a scream though. That hurt. I could feel a tiny, disturbing bit of resistance keeping the door from closing. And the source of that was Rena's fingers. Each of those fingers wriggling, squirming around like the tendrils of a carnivorous plant through the cracks in the doorway. Oh, why did you describe it? Oh my god, the screen turned red. That scared me.
痛いよ、ケイイチくん。
It hurts, Keiichi-kun, it hurts. Oh god, I'm a little bad at that. Okay. It wasn't a harsh shriek, but more of a yelp she was trying to keep back. Go away! Go away! Go away! I kept on pulling on the door with all my might. I didn't even realize that if I didn't loosen my pull on the door at least momentarily, Rena wouldn't be able to pull her fingers out. And that was why the door wasn't closing.
本当に痛いの、ケイイチくん。
It really hurts, Keiichi-kun.
悪ふざけが過ぎたなら謝るよ。
I'm sorry if I was messing around too much. Oh my god. I didn't care one bit for her apology. No matter how much she apologized, it didn't change any of what she had done up until now. Wow! That's interesting. That's interesting. In the beginning, I remember him saying something about how, like, about forgiveness. He said something about, like, how, like, if, like, they apologize and they'd be forgiven or something. And now it's like, even if you apologize, I'm not gonna forgive you. I love the shift in character here. It didn't change anything.
痛いの。痛いの。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
It hurts. It hurts. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I just realized. Is he still pulling? No, that just hurts to think about. Like, just imagine your finger, like, you're like, oh god. It's like, yeah, getting your hands, like, stuck on, like, a crack of a door, and, like, the person, instead of, like, you know, like, letting your finger slip out, like, he's pulling harder and harder and harder. It's like a lot of seconds on end. It's like, no! Oh, god. Go away! Go away! Go away! Okay. I voice cracked. Oh, yeah. Yeah, just like that. Also, my voice cracked. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that last go away. That hurt. I could. My voice peaked. Oh my god. Talking non-stop for 3 hours, that's what it does to you. Oh my god. My voice cracked. I could not do it. Rena couldn't leave, even if she wanted to, because I trapped her fingers. Rena's white fingers, oh, now white? Had become deep red and were no longer even squirming. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Got it! Go away, go away, go away! I know, oh my god. Oh my god. This is just like sad. It's the I'm sorry, and it's go away. And they're just repeating themselves over and over again. Rena's apologies were occasionally twisted with pain, but like a broken record, she was intent on repeating it over and over. What are you sorry about, though? I mean, go away, go away, go away. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. I pulled on the door even harder. Finally, Rena's fingers were somehow able to slip out from their imprisonment in the doorway. Really? Yeah, definitely. The moment that happened, the door closed soundly, and I could hear the thud of Rena falling on her butt on the other side. Oh, thank God. I felt bad. He was just pulling for so long. I don't get why she's apologizing, though. I don't get it. Like, is she genuinely apologetic? Like, I don't know. Like, it messes with my head. What are you sorry for? What you... Like, I don't know. I don't know. I locked the door immediately. It made a loud clunk, voicing my rejection to Rena. I know, right? Like, yeah. It made... Oh, whoops. I actually heard that. Again. I'm sorry. I can't lower my voice anymore. Yeah, this chapter already, like, yeah, just mind blown, like, apart every time. Keiichi-kun. I'm sorry. Open up, Keiichi-kun. No, I'm not going to open. And my voice is just giving out. Rena, oh, whoops. Rena leaned against the door, apologizing profusely and nothing else. After confirming that I was sufficiently sealed off from her, I trudged away from the entryway. Hold on, can we just... On the other side, I can still hear Rena echoing her apology. I'm sorry. Those pitiful words, they would be forever seeking my forgiveness. Wow, what a line. This line, no, this is one of my favorites so far. Wow, yeah, that is amazing. I didn't feel bad about this at all. But that wasn't out of any sort of malice. I felt a sort of hazy sense of relief that I was able to escape from Rena. Before, Mion had threatened me at this doorway, saying there was nothing she didn't know. And just now, at the same place, Rena told me the same thing. Oh, yeah, I figured, and I could see why. I can see why it was set to the highest difficulty. I think I said it's like, yeah, like the highest, but like the reward was like, yeah, I don't know, it was like the reward was important or something. Yeah, I can see why. It is, oh man, it is so confusing. My feeble attempts to disguise the fact my parents weren't home had served no purpose from the start. I should have just pretended to be out and not even opened the door. My meager plans hadn't helped at all. In Hinamizawa, it was impossible to outwit them! Even though I was on the other side of the door, I wanted to get as far away from Rena as possible. 1 step, 2 steps. With each one, her sniveling apologies became more distant. I sprinted up the stairs and dove into my room. Oh my god, I'm still hearing this freaking creepy music. As you would expect, I was finally no longer able to hear Rena repeating her endless apologies. Diving into my bed, I was startled by the hard lump I felt. What? There's something in my bed? Oh no, was someone in here waiting? I doubt it. Oh, there we go.